y'all. I finally broke down and got a new book. I think we've talked about this, how I've always been like a romance book is for the Kindle. Like I don't really have a physical book. And I finally broke down when I was in Target because I saw there was a book on sale. This book was on sale, so I got it. I'm reading and I flipped to the next page and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, what? You guys, why am I 70 pages into this book and realize that this page says 70? Can you see that? The next page, it's missing 30 pages. This is why I don't buy books at Target. I will have to take this book back. I am having a great time reading it. I had no prior knowledge of this book series. I think I just remember thinking that the Brutal Prince book cover was really cute. I thought I would come on here and tell you guys that. Hello, we have not talked in a while, and it's purely because I haven't been reading that much, and then I also can't, like, I've started at least 4 different books within the last week. Colors are changing because once again I'm using my TV as a light, and it's 9:30 at night, so these are the books that I have been in the middle of reading. Consider Me on My Kindle by Becca Mack. A very unserious hockey romance. One thing about me, hockey romances are we're always like this. We're real tight. That one's a really dumb book, but I'm having a semi-fun time reading it. I remember this being a discussion on TikTok about how annoying it is with some romance writers when they're like, the main character who's a female is like, I'm so petite, I'm so small, like that's her entire personality is being skinny and short and small. And then the entire reason why the male main character is into her is because she's so skinny, small, and petite, and that she doesn't want him. So that is my issue with Consider Me. Like, that part of it is really annoying, and I try my hardest just to run right through those sentences because can't relate. Anywho, so I'm reading Consider Me on my Kindle, and I think I'm about 20, almost 30% of the way through that book. I've started this book as well, A Very Nice Girl by Imogen Krimp. I'm only like 13 pages into this book. I'm on chapter 2, I think. Yeah, I'm 13 pages into this book. We all know my love of hunting for books at half price books. So my recent obsession after I've had to give up my Throne of Glass hunting series and then collecting the Harry Potter books, I've been wanting to find Dune in this cover forever at a reasonable price, and I finally found it at half price at for I think $7 or $8. So I read the first 10 pages of this book. So I'm in the middle of this, not in the middle, but I've started this one as well. I finally have picked up Babel. It has only taken me 2 years, you guys. This book has been on like pretty much every single TBR that I've ever fiended to make. But I finally have started it and I'm loving it. The part that I'm not loving the most is that the chapters are like at least 20 pages long and that the font is, yeah, you see that. So I'm only on chapter 3, but I'm trying to like annotate it real heavily because you can't really tell, but I'm really loving it. Like, this is what my brain needed. My brain needed like a little bit of a challenge after reading straight fantasy and romance. I needed something where I have to look up things and like really sit down and put my entire brain into reading it. And Babel is 100% that. And I'm loving it. I'm like, it's just so good. And I've been wanting to like annotate really heavily, but I cannot commit for the life of me to writing in pen in any of my books. But for some reason this book I was able to because it was a $5 book that I got from Book of the Month when I had a subscription for 1 month, so I could get the $5 book, and this was the book I chose. I don't know, my brain just felt comfortable writing in this book, so that is what I'm reading right now. Now, would I love to continue reading Savage Love? Yes, because I was genuinely enjoying myself in that book. I think we need to talk about my unhealthy obsession with the movie Mea Culpa on Amazon. Not my finest moment, you guys. I don't like, it's truly not my finest moment, and I really hate that I'm admitting this on the internet for everybody to see, but I really love that movie. I love that movie. good, dare I say. I said it. It's a good movie. I don't know. Like, it's shot pretty nicely for a Wattpad adaptation. The acting isn't horrendous. Like, I've seen worse. And worse, I mean after. The music's nice. And I just enjoy that it's a romance. It has to do with like racing cars. I say all of that to say that Savage Love is like a romance, of course, but it's based on like this guy who's it's based on like drag racing and romance, and that's really what I want. I want more Fast and Furious movies and books that aren't Fast and Furious, you know? Like, I don't really want to watch an 11th installment of that movie, but I will, because there's nothing else out here like it. Anywho, so I would love to continue reading that, but I'm missing 30 pages, so I'm not going to. And it's also 9:30, and I've gone to bed really late every night and haven't made it to the gym in a while, which is, we're not going to talk about that, but I think what I'm going to do is crack back into Babel. You know what? Babel feels correct, because I looked up some fan art of the main character, and I got, not spoilers, but like fan art of like the other characters that are soon to come in the book, and it's giving a really good vibe that I want to be a part of ASAP. So I think I'm gonna read at least one more chapter of this tonight, hopefully, if I don't fall asleep. But I just loved so much that book was missing 30 pages, and it really propelled me to open up my camera and let you guys know. So I'm gonna read a little bit. I'm watching YouTube. I would love for people to comment down below what small YouTubers you like to watch, because of course we all know like the really big booktubers, love them, hooray for them, hashtag want that. But I really would love to support more small YouTubers, and I feel like YouTube is not great with their algorithm quite yet of suggesting and boosting smaller creators, and I would love to be able to watch smaller creators instead of just constantly paying everybody's paycheck. Link them down below. I went to see them. Oh, also, I don't think we haven't seen the setup. Like, I think I really like this setup. I have my red light on, and then the TV is like kind of evening out the color. Not really, but I'm gonna tell myself it is. And then I got rid of my other bookshelf because I was really tired of it being in my room, and I needed a place to put the rest of my TBR because I had my TBR on that bookshelf. I don't love the idea that my TBR and my books read are all mixed together now, but I do like the vibe that I have going on here. It's really janky. None of this is quite permanent because I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it, but I just like made myself a little headboard bookshelf, and it's really cute and I love it. It's not secure at all. It did fall on me the other night, but we will cross that road when I get there again, I guess. Anywho, let's get back to reading. We haven't talked yet, but I just got done taking a shower and I went to the gym. I didn't record because I'm not quite there yet, but I did go to the gym. I have fallen victim to the Leah from Love Island trend of the EOS vanilla cashmere lotion and body oil gel like combination, because unfortunately, I'm sure as anyone knows who is also in love with this trend, Sticky Dates from Lush, like the shower gel, is completely sold out until at least September 13th. For like the entire year, I've been trying to like develop my scent as a person, because I strongly believe that there is no better compliment than you smell good. So I hunted this down yesterday because I've been looking for it for a while because it's been sold out like everywhere. I went to like a Target that was super far away from me. It just smells so good. I went to a Target that was super far away from me because it said it had it in stock, and of course I got there and it wasn't there. So I had to go to a Walmart that was closer to me, and this was like out of stock. It was like in the out of stock shelf way at the top, and I had to do some sketchy maneuvering to get this out. So I want to try this new little combination. I've used like shower oils before, and I love using shower oil because it leaves my skin feeling really like moisturized and fresh, and I don't really have to put lotion on afterwards. But I tried this combination last night after I bought it, and I could smell the lotion the entire rest of the night, and even while I was like in the bed sleeping. So I'm very excited to try this, and I hope it like lives up to the hype. Also, today's Monday. It's Monday, and my mom and I were supposed to go on a trip, so I had requested these days off for the trip before we confirmed whether or not we were going, and then last minute, not really last minute, but we just decided that we didn't want to go anymore, and I already had the days off, so I wasn't gonna like, I don't know, put them off, take them off the calendar. So now I just have 2 free days off from work just to chill, which if you work corporate, I feel like you would understand that sometimes like it's nice to have vacations to take your PTO to go on vacation, but sometimes you just want to like have a day to yourself that's not the weekend, and you just want to relax and like not go anywhere, because Monday through Friday you're working, and then Saturday and Sunday you're running errands, and then you're back to working again. You really don't get time to just sit down and do whatever you want. So I'm really glad that I'm able to take these 2 days to just chill out. I've perfectly positioned you all to not be able to see my bed, because while I was cleaning last night, I also I'm putting the lotion on still. While I was cleaning last night, I also decided to wash my sheets, and it was that kind of unfortunate event where you were really brave and thought that I was going to be able to wash my sheets and put them on my bed all one night, but sure enough, I did not. So I also need to make my bed up this morning, or I don't know, afternoon. It's about 1:30 now. Let me finish putting my lotion on and getting myself together, and we'll catch up in a minute. It's exactly 4 o'clock now. I made my bed up, and then we have another room that we like finally put a couch into. It's just kind of like I don't know, like a craft room of sorts, and I went ahead and cleaned that up as well. And now I'm finally sitting back down to finish reading my book. I'm on page 116 out of like 285 pages. I'm not a fast reader, but I'm really hoping that maybe I could finish this tonight because I'm really liking it. I have seen this series all over TikTok all the time and like on plenty of booktubers like bookshelves, and I was always so against it for really no reason. I was just like, I don't want to read that, and I don't want to give too many spoilers because this is technically the third book in an interconnected standalone series called the Brutal Birthright series. I think I talked about it in like my last clip about basically how I found this book for like $10 at Target and looked up and it said that I didn't really need to read the series in order, just that sometimes some points might be a little bit of a spoiler. So I'm really enjoying this, and I think I'll probably end up reading the entire series, but like taking my time with it because I am really liking this. So I'm very excited. So hopefully I can finish this book. And then I was kind of debating on whether or not I wanted to go to the movies tonight. I don't know if I'll go tonight or if I'll go tomorrow. When I go to the movies, I like to see at least maybe 2 movies in one night because there's just so many things out that I want to see. But it's a big commitment to be at the movie theater for like 4 to 6 hours. So I don't know if I want to go tonight or if I want to go tomorrow, but sometimes it's like more economic for me to go on a Monday because that's when they're full price. So like I'm getting like my whole money's worth for my A-list rather than going on a Tuesday when they're discounted on Tuesdays. Anywho, I think I'm putting too much thought into this, but that's what I'm thinking. But I think I'm going to go tomorrow because I've done a lot of cleaning today and I really want to finish my book. So I think I'm gonna feel like staying home. And then also there's a new movie out on Amazon with KJ Apa and Maya Rutfico. I really don't know how to pronounce her last name, but there's a new movie on Amazon called, I actually don't remember what it's called, but it's like a racing romance. So I think that's gonna be a good match for this one, because if you don't know, Savage Lover is, I think, like a mafia racing romance kind of thing. So I'm really enjoying it, and I think I can just capitalize on the entire mood of this book by watching that movie tonight and just chilling out at home. That's what it's like living in Texas. It's 94 degrees outside and it's raining. It's 7 o'clock now, and I've went ahead and like made us dinner. But I think I have like 85 pages left in this, which is quite shocking to me. This is going by really fast. My biggest issue with reading romance is that a lot of times I feel like I'm actually losing brain cells. And not to say that like romance is bad, because I love reading romance. It's just sometimes I think the ones that I'm picking are just so horribly written that it takes me out of the story a lot of times, and I can't really enjoy what I'm reading, and it's taking a lot of cognitive dissonance to enjoy the story, just because it's just so unbelievable sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like, a man would literally never say that. I can't believe that they could formulate such a sentence to say to me in that way. I just don't believe that would happen. Sometimes I think written by a woman is just too unbelievable. With this one, I'm really enjoying it because the male main character is still very male coded, if that makes sense. Like you can tell that Sophie, the writer, the author, was like at least trying to hold on to some characteristics of men, of them essentially discovering new emotions at the big age of 25 and recognizing what they are, which is so true for their community, I would like to say. So I think that's why I find this really easy to read, because it's believable in that sense. And then also that the female main character, Camille, she has some of like kind of her own agency. Now the Bechdel test barely exists, like it doesn't exist in this book at all, but like I don't really read romance with that in mind, because I don't really care, if I'm being honest. Like I'm aware of the rule and it's kind of outdated, but I'm going into a romance book. It's probably like my least thought about thing, to be honest, because it's to be expected that it's not going to pass. But I think Camille, the female main character, has a lot of her own agency, which is something I really look forward to and like in a book. Their chemistry together makes sense. Like it makes sense how we have gone from 0 to 100 in like 100 pages. Like it actually makes sense and I can buy it. But I'm having a really good time reading this, and I think I'm definitely gonna finish it tonight, because now did it take me 3 hours to read like 50 pages? That can't be true. I think it took me I think I'll finish it tonight. Will hopefully finish it within like the next hour and a half, so I can finish reading this. And I know I said I'd watch a movie tonight, but I'm kind of feeling like I want to keep the good times rolling. As you saw like my last video, I was talking about my reading slump that I've been in, and like I haven't really been enjoying reading books recently because I've been watching so many movies. But now that I'm finally in the mood to read, I kind of want to capitalize on it, because I started reading another book the other night when I discovered that this didn't have 30 pages. I picked up the book that I just recently bought from half price, which is called, I think it's called Everybody in This Room Will Someday Be Dead, and I started reading that, and it was a really quick and easy read as well. And so I think I want to finish that one tonight, or at least get a good ways into it tonight, so that I hope I can finish it tomorrow, because I really just need some short books to like knock out to catch up a little bit on my Goodreads reading goal, because right now I think I'm 12 books behind schedule, so that's not looking too good. The worst thing about this is that I set my reading goal at the beginning of the year with the intention of surpassing it like I did last year. So last year my goal was to read 35 books, and then I ended up reading 45. So I was like, oh cool, like I've averaged for like the past 2 years reading about 5 to 10 books extra past my goal. So let me just go ahead and like set my goal to be 45 and expect myself to read about 50 books this year. I've read 17, so which is still great. Like that's still a really good amount of books to read. Just wasn't my goal. Also, I think I showed you when I was reading this book, I've never read like a romance book of this nature before in physical form, which I know like on a Kindle it would be the same, but a lot of times when I read like more of these niche romance books, I read them on my Kindle, and so it's kind of like a detached sense of reading because I'm not actually physically turning the pages and like holding the book in my hand, so I can be very detached from it. And I don't really see the cover, like I never see the cover of the book, so I'm not like excited about it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just different having the physical book. But I showed you how when I opened up this book and I saw that there were like graphic images, drawings, like a picture book, I was like, Sophie Lark gets it. Yes, I'm an adult, but I still would like a picture in my book. So this is actually really fun. It's so different from anything I've ever read before, and it's definitely something that I'm enjoying quite a bit. I really love the opening of this book, like where it gives you like the two families. Like I don't want to like I don't think this is a spoiler, but it like gives you like the two families that this book is like basically about, and that's just, I just really love that. I'm really into that. But yeah, so I'm gonna continue reading and probably eat dinner, and then we'll catch up after that, I think. So yes. Also, another thing that I'm really enjoying about this book, and something that I've realized from reading a lot of fantasy romance, which has made it really hard to go back to reading just romance, is that I need a plot. I 100% need a plot when it comes to fantasy, like comes to romance, because I can't just do with like my sole determination in this entire book is to win this girl over. It just doesn't do it for me. I need stakes. I need something to be life or death. Like I need something to be invested in, and this book has that. It has plot as well as like the romance. Of course, romance is the forefront, but there are stakes, which I find really interesting. It's also set in Chicago, which is where my family's from, so that's really fun as well, and it's mafia as well, so I think it's really interesting because I remember my mom like telling me about like the Italian, not like she wasn't, I just remember my mom living in a predominantly Italian and black neighborhood, and so it's really fun to read about the Italian mafia in Chicago, because I know while she has no idea anything about it, it's just like nice to have like a familiar sense of like, oh yeah, like I knew Chicago had a strong Italian presence, and also it had a very strong Irish presence as well. So that's like, it's just fun to read. Like I don't know, like I have literally no stake in the Italian mafia in Chicago, but like I know it could possibly be there. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. So I think I just heard my air fryer go off for the salmon, so I'm gonna go check it. And then I don't know, like I don't know if I hate reading and eating at the same time, because I just can't do two, I just simply can't do two things at once like that. But I don't know, I just wanted to say that. I'll probably watch YouTube actually. Was sci-fi, because that's a genre that I've been trying to get into for a long time, but then I would get into reading snobs and it was just like a whole really turned into an iPad kid there. steaks. These were the steaks. Whoa. I finished. Wow, this was actually a lot of fun. There's an extra like little bonus scene at the end, which I feel like it should have just been in the actual book because it gives so much more expansive background of Camille and also does a really good job of bringing the two families together. So I think that the scene should have just been in the book since it didn't do anything to the page difference really. But I really loved this. Wow, this goes to show that I really need to stop judging a book by its cover on Book Talk and just read it. Which is funny because I actually really like the covers of these books. I don't know, I feel like it was too many people. I think I just felt like there were too many people talking about the series that it just inherently could not be good. But I think that's why everybody was talking about it. But yeah, that was really fun. The pictures were a lot of fun. If you are into wanting to see the spicy bits of it all, apparently there's a Patreon you can sign up for. I will not be doing that, but this was a really good book. I had a really good time reading it, and I'm glad to say that I have another book on my Goodreads goal, so now I'm only 11 books behind. But it's 10:30 now, so I'm gonna probably clean the kitchen and then maybe I'll start another book or probably just go to bed. Hello, it has been a morning, you guys. I've been awake since about 5:40, and then I fell asleep at 8 o'clock and then woke up I think probably around 10 or 11. So we're not going to get into the entire events of this morning, but just know that it was a lot and it has thrown my day a little bit, unfortunately, but it's okay. So I have the entire house to myself, which is quite nice. I just really don't know what the day's gonna have for me because I'm stuck at the house all day and I kind of want to go to the gym, I kind of want to go to the movies, I kind of want to go get some cleaning supplies and whatnot for some stuff. So I really don't know where I'm at with that, but it's 2:30 now. And basically ever since I've been awake, I've just been trying to book my flight because my birthday is in October and I booked a show, a Broadway show for myself, and one other person who ever wanted to come with me, whether it was my mom or my friend, to go on my birthday in October. So I'm trying to book my flights for New York and I'm so angry because like when I originally looked at them, they were $50 cheaper, which isn't like much, but like it's $50, you know? And then also I've just now noticed that Billie Eilish is in town the same weekend as my birthday, and so hotels are insanely priced right now, which is just so unfortunate. A lot of my friends are October birthdays for some reason, so another one of my friend has planned a Europe trip for herself and invited me to go with her, so I've also been planning my ticket to purchase that today as well. So like I have a lot of purchases to make today and I don't get paid for another couple of days, so I feel like if I just make the purchase now, get paid, then I'll feel like I never made the purchase. Yeah, that's girl math for you. It will immediately be back in my account. So anywho, that's where I'm at today. What is it called? I started Everybody in This Room Will Someday Be Dead last night. Like I read a couple more pages and I just realized that I'm just not in the mood for it, and it really needs to marinate on my bookshelf a little while longer before I am in the mood to read it. And then I've been, like I mentioned in my last vlog, going back and forth between the tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn, but I think I want to make that its own video. But I know it's going to take me a really long time to read, and I've also been reading Babel, I really don't know how to pronounce it. I've been reading that, but I know like that's gonna take me a very long time to read. I'm just a slow reader, and then on top of being a slow reader, I also really want to digest that book and like take my time with annotating it and everything, so I'm not gonna rush myself to read that right now, which leaves me with very slim options on my bookshelf. I'm actually really over the heat. I'm so over summer. I'm ready for it to be done, that I'm like, maybe I'll just start hopping into my fall TBR right now, even though we still have a couple more days left of heat to be bared. But I don't know what I want to read next. I really kind of want to read Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy, I'm so sorry, Ademi. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but it's the book that is going to be adapted into, I believe, a TV series coming next year. I really want to read that, but I don't have a physical copy of it, and there isn't a copy of it available on the Libby app for some reason. So I've just been reading the sample, but I'm like, I need to read something that's on my bookshelf. Like I really need to read something that's on, like I physically own it, and I just don't want to. I just don't want to. I'm just watching Law and Order because I like to have the TV on as background noise. Okay, bye.